President Biden finally kicking off his 2024 campaign, promising to unite the country once again and get stuff done. Just kidding. Old man Biden is back to screaming about how evil MAGA Republicans are, and they're going to ruin the country.
Around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too.
Where is he? If you missed the big video, you're not alone. Biden released it at 6 a.m. when half the country was still asleep and when Jesse had to get up to change another diaper, just like Dr. Jill. And while Americans are crying uncle at the thought of 4 more years of Biden, Joe says that he still has more work to do.
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. Let's finish this job. I know we can, because this is the United States of America. There's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
Huh? What job is he talking about? Joe didn't mention a single thing he has accomplished or wants to do. And his own voters don't even want him. 51% of Dems say they just don't want to see Biden run again. And Republicans are responding to the president's announcement with a preview of what his reelection would look like.
This morning, an emboldened China invades Taiwan.
Financial markets are in free fall as 500 regional banks have shuttered their doors.
Who's in charge here? It feels like the train is coming off the tracks.
Interesting. Charlie, welcome to the show. You look great.
Thanks for having me.
It wasn't my choice. So what's it like when in 4 years since he's been president, he's saying that things are still really, really bad and we're on the precipice of some kind of Armageddon, but he's been president for 4 years. He's almost arguing against himself being reelected.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, that video was as dark as his initial
Yes.
4 years ago or 2 years ago, his initial thing.
Yeah.
And the only difference is that was about the whole lie about Charlottesville, and this is about the MAGA semi-Nazis or whatever it is. Quasi-Nazis. It's just so dark and depressing. And, you know, you take a guy like Barack Obama. I didn't agree with anything. I didn't like him, didn't agree with his policies. But you go back to that 08 campaign and even a little bit in the 12 campaign, it was so optimistic and you know, gazing towards the future. There's none of that with this guy. It's so depressing. It's sort of a sign of the times.
You know, Dana, you noticed in that video, you actually saw very little of Joe. And even when you heard him, he was kind of slurring.
Yeah.
Sounded like me on a Friday night.
And, you know,
Thursday night.
It's one of those things when you do live television, you don't get an opportunity to do it twice. So sometimes we slur or we stumble, and that happens when you're talking live.
Yeah.
But in a video like that, it was highly produced. I'd give it, you know, a passing grade. It was fine. It's not going to win any awards, but it's answered the mail for what they needed to do, which is kick things off so they can officially start fundraising, because they might think that finishing the job will be easy for them. But I think that when only 25% of the country thinks the job you're doing is good, they don't want it anymore. Like, who's going to answer the question, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? Right. Who's going to answer that and say yes? Well, perhaps very rich white liberals who got the electric vehicle tax credit. That might be something. China might answer that in the affirmative. The other thing I noticed is that it didn't seem that there was the next campaign, like you were saying as well, the looking backwards, not looking forward. So what is the new thing that he wants to do? You can't run the 2020 playbook necessarily because COVID isn't around, as you've mentioned. Yeah. You can't necessarily be in the basement. So what's the new strategy? And maybe he won't need one. I mean, maybe they think they can do this because the media will be against whoever the Republican is. Trump, DeSantis, Tim Scott, Nikki Haley, any of them. They're all of a sudden, they're going to be the ones that will make America on the brink of losing its democracy, no matter who it is at that time.
So, Judge, it's basically like he doesn't have to try like he did before. He stay in the basement, you know, just he picked the MAGA Republicans, 80 million voters or 70 million voters. Forget China, the cartels, our enemies. Just say it's them.
Yeah, well, the amazing part of it is that, first of all, he's had fewer press conferences than any president in the last, I think it's 50 years and half a century. He doesn't want to have a primary. RFK Jr. wants to have a primary. And, you know, this guy talks about the Constitution and making America great. Well, they're the ones who shut down the Hunter Biden laptop, worked with his administration, working with social media to make sure none of that information came out, which we now know might have changed the election. He's smug when the people in the press room ask him, you know, can we ask some questions? He kind of laughs at them in a very smug way. And, you know, he was the guy who came in who was going to unite us. He was the guy who was going to be, we're going to bring back America again. And we all want that. And Obama had that, too. Obama had that hope. He had that. You can't take that away from him. But this president is dark, and I'm always thrown back to those Marines and that dark blood color behind him. And he's promising now to save us all from those MAGA Republicans. And he does nothing but divide us and continuing to divide us. And now, do you realize that Kamala Harris now is a heartbeat away, not from a 78-year-old, but from an 82-year-old? And her numbers are even worse than his. So it's like, you know, why don't you at least show up now? Is this going to be a repeat? And finally, let me just say that his whole administration now is about a certain kind of I'm going to use the word again, a smugness. Like, I don't have to answer your questions, and I don't have to tell you about Hunter or anything that I've done. You know, prove it.
That's it. You know, Harold, in the green room, I was really struck about how upset you were about this, and you said, like, I can't believe I'll probably be voting for Trump. I was shocked when you said that.
It was right after I stole your tie.
Yes.
That I said those things. Charlie, always good to see you, brother. I'd say two quick things. First, I agree with Dana and Charlie, and the way he does. There was a darkness. I thought this would have been a more upbeat, more positive, more we're grabbing for the future kind of piece, as you saw with Clinton, as you've seen with your former boss and others. That will come. There's no doubt border crime or issues that I would imagine, as well as the Afghan withdrawal, that will be talked about by whomever runs against him, whether it's Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis or Tim Scott or whomever, Nikki Haley. I don't mean to leave anybody out. But the election's 13 months away before we get really going in this. And if things continue like they are and you begin to see some of the fruits from some of the things they've done. So, for example, inflation's trending down. Unemployment's at 3.5%. Prescription drugs he lowered. He capped insulin. They've made investments in chip production here in America. They've made investments in onshoring more production and manufacturing in America. They've made investments in the infrastructure. If that stuff begins to pay off and you see some return on investment there, I could see a commercial that begins to make a case for the economic engine that the president may have generated here, or maybe a reason for the generation to it. But interestingly enough, both of these leading candidates, Mr. Trump and Mr. Biden, we said yesterday, 60% don't want Trump to run, 70% don't want Biden to run. They have some commonality in terms of some of their legal issues. They both have a special counsel looking into what they did with certain documents. President Biden has his son's issues, and President Trump has a whole array of other legal issues. So we're in for a unique race. And I just think at this moment, it's a little early, but I would agree. I thought that we waited a long time for this, and there was a lot of anticipation. I would have been a little more forward-leaning and would have been a little more positive, and the music would have been more positive, and I would have talked a little bit more about the future than he did. But we're a long ways away, so we'll see. You know, you want the tie back, or you still can?
I just kind of drifted off. But what about the elephant in the room? No, Kamala. There was no. Did you guys?
Yeah, she was in there.
She was in the video.
More than I thought she would be.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's
Smiling in there.
Did you also catch the clip of him sprinting?
Yes, for 3 seconds.
For 3 seconds?
No, not even 3 seconds.
Yeah. No,
3 steps.
Yeah.
In a second.
But he was sprinting.
Was he on stairs, falling forward?
I think
No, and he wasn't on a bike
walkway.
either.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.